Hi, my name's Alice, and this is my analysis on Abbey by Mitski from her album Lush. I'm so sorry for my voice. It's like really bad. So Abbey is a very eerie song that goes into topics about discovering yourself and really figuring out who you are. Also goes in detail about feeling yourself break as you try to figure yourself out. The first lyric is, I'm hungry. I've been hungry. I was born hungry. What do I need? The first thing you hear at the beginning is these really eerie notes that she's singing that are high and low, and it sounds really cool, but she's making this really strange environment that you don't really hear that often, and it really sets it up for the next lyrics that, again, are very eerie. It's very different. It's just such a perfect setup for the lyrics. She starts with am. She says am, which means that it's happening right now. And she says that she's hungry, but I know for a fact that does not mean that she's actually hungry, because why would that matter? I mean, it could matter. I really don't think that that's what she means. I really don't think that she's talking about actually being hungry. The have been instills the idea that she's been hungry. She's been starved, actually. And she really needs this. She just needs it. It's what's keeping her sane. Born makes it seem like she's had this issue since she's been alive. She's needed this her whole life, but no one's ever given it to her. The what do I need really makes it seem like she doesn't even know. She doesn't know what she needs. That's why it's so hard for her to find it. How can you get what's starving you, what's making you so hungry, if you don't even know what it is? That's why she hasn't been able to get it. That's why no one's been able to help her find it, because she can't figure out what it is. But she knows for a fact that there's this hunger inside of her. That's what she knows. The second line is, I am something, I've been something, I was born something. What could I be? These lines really bring out the idea that she doesn't know who she is. She's trying to figure herself out. It really shows how she thinks of herself as like something unknown, because it's something. There's no label to it. It's just something. That's the only word you can use to describe it. You don't have any other words to describe it, because it's just a thing that you don't know. It's the unknown, pretty much, and that's how she views herself. And then she asks, what could I be? Which could be like, what could I be? What am I? What am I right now? Or it could be saying, what could I be? What could I become? What could, in the future, what could I be like? What am I gonna be like? Because all she knows right now is that she's something. I mean, anything is something. The air is something. Me talking is something. It's a noise. The room is something. That's all she knows, and that's nothing. She doesn't know anything. Knowing that you're something isn't knowing anything. That is nothing. The next line, I'm only on line 3, bro. You're fucking kidding me. Okay. There is a light that I can see, but only it seems when there's darkness in me. I love that line. So how I like to see this light is a friend. Because think about it, so many people can be described as the sun, as something that's bright. Usually a kind person is described as a light. So I really like to think of this light as a person helping her. So the part that's confusing is this friend only appears when there's darkness around her. So how I like to see it is that she only shows up when she's helping Mitski. So she only appears when Mitski's so clouded and so trapped in her thoughts and surrounded by darkness, surrounded by really dark thoughts, that she can only see the light. She can only see her friend, and that's the only time that she ends up seeing her friend, which is a really bad relationship to be on both sides, actually, because you don't get a friend out of it. You just get someone that you're using pretty much as a therapist. Line number 4, there is a dream that I sometimes see that only appears in the dark of sleep. So I think that this dream is something similar to the light. It's something that she looks towards when she's in a bad place, because like it says, it only appears in the dark of sleep. So it's this idea that she has that only appears when she's struggling, when she's in a bad place. When she starts to make it to this escape, this idea, when she starts to actually start to make progress, it starts to escape her. It starts to leave her. doesn't seem attainable anymore. It seems fake. Maybe because it's such an exaggeration of an idea that it's fake, but she doesn't realize that's fake because it's the only thing that's keeping her going. It's the only thing that makes her want to keep going on in life. So she uses this elaborate idea to try to get out of her negative thoughts, and it works for a bit until she realizes how stupid of a thought it is. It's so dumb. It doesn't seem possible at all. It actually isn't possible. And this leads her falling back into this deep darkness because she realizes how unattainable this idea is, that it makes her start to go back to her negative thoughts because that's the only thing that is reasonable. That's the only thing that seems possible. So she can't keep going on with these unattainable thoughts, these thoughts that are so far away. She's in a really deep tunnel. It's just a tunnel, and there's one way through. There's one thing that could possibly keep her going, but it's so far away, it's not possible. But the idea is what keeps her going. It's the idea that makes it seem possible. And it's pretty much this loop. And the reason this loop is described by sleep is because it feels like it has no start, no end. It's a dream because you don't know it's happening. You never realize that it's happening. Unless you lucid dream, but that's not what this is. This is a normal dream. She just doesn't realize that it's happening, which makes it so easy for her to keep on doing it. And it's so hard to control your dreams. She can't control it anymore. She never has been able to because it's such a hard thing to do. It's so hard to control your dreams. And so she never realizes when it starts, and it's so hard to end a dream by yourself. You need help. You need someone to wake you up. Wake up. Line number 5 is, I am waiting. I have been waiting. I was born waiting for that something, just to want something. This line really makes it clear how Mitski is waiting for her friend, because this light of her friend is only showing up when she's surrounded by darkness. So otherwise she's waiting for her friend to call her, be like, hey, you want to go to the store, you want to go shopping, but nothing ever happens because her friend is only there when Mitski needs her. But Mitski needs her all the time because Mitski needs a friend. Everyone needs at least someone. So Mitski's stuck waiting for her friend to show up, and probably even feeling like, what if I were to do this? What if I were to do this to myself so that my friend will show up and save the day and be my hero and be my light? Mitski is stuck waiting for something, wanting for something, longing for something, just to want something. She's waiting for her friend to help her, just to still have that hunger for a friend, for someone to be with her. She wants someone to be with her. She doesn't want to feel lonely anymore. And so she's stuck waiting for that to come. And it only ever comes when she's stuck in darkness. It only ever comes when she feels awful about herself. And that's never a good time for a friend. I mean, it's a good time to have a friend, but it's not a friend. It's a light. It's not even sentient. It's not even a person. It's just a light that helps her when she needs it, but it doesn't do anything else for her. The last line is, there is a dream and it sleeps in me, to awake in the night crying, set me free. And I awake every night crying, set me free. Oh my fucking God. So basically she wakes up every single night thinking about the fact that she needs a friend and the fact that she's trying to find herself. Because that's the thing. Usually people find themselves with their friends. They find them together. It's such a brutal process, but it happens, and it's so much easier with a friend. But she can't do that because she doesn't have someone. She's stuck waking up every night crying, set me free from this painful carousel where she's spinning around trying to figure out who she is while trying to have a friend, while trying to get out of this darkness that is surrounding her. And it's just awful. These feelings that she has for her friend, this dream in her, it sleeps in her. It's always there, beating along with her heart. It's always there. And instead of it being a pleasant dream, it's turned into despair and desperation. Desperation for a friend, despair at the loss of someone who could be a friend, but she's realizing isn't actually there. She's never there except when Mitski needs her the most, but that's not what a friend does. They show up all the time. They show up for hangouts. They actually hang out. They don't just sit there and wait for someone else to be suffering so they can feel like a hero. They aren't a hero. They are not even a friend. They're just there to help. They're a therapist. They aren't a friend. There's no therapist friend. Therapist friend comes with hanging out with the person, comes with being there for the person and hanging out with them simultaneously. hanging out with them, and then, oh wait, this thing came up, I'll help them then. That's what a therapist friend is, but it's not. She's just a therapist, and it makes her feel like a hero. It makes her feel like she's doing something. This friend feels like she's doing something right, but she isn't. I mean, they may feel like they're doing something, but it only causes more despair for Mitski. It only causes more desperation for Mitski to find this friend. And this dream, instead of it being once in a while, it started to stay with her, and then all of a sudden it pops up, and it causes her so much sadness and makes her feel awful about herself. And so it never stops, and that's why she awakes every night crying out, set me free. She wants to be away from this dream. She doesn't want the dream, even if it's not called a nightmare. She doesn't want it. She doesn't want it to stick with her. She wants it to leave her alone. And she probably also wants this friend to leave her alone, because her friend is fake. Her friend isn't actually her friend. She's a therapist who is trying to be a hero, but is doing more harm than good. Okay, that's all the analysis I have for today. So yeah, bye.